trust what you see. Bright colors, perfect shapes, food that looks untouched by time. Sealed behind a thin layer of plastic, it feels protected, preserved, safe. But that barrier isn't just keeping the outside world away. It's creating a new one inside. A space where air is controlled, moisture is trapped, and something invisible begins to settle in. Every year, billions of packages promise freshness. What they don't show you is what they leave behind. Because while your food sits there, looking perfect, something is slowly changing. You don't taste it. You don't smell it. You don't even notice it. Because it doesn't belong to the food, it comes from what surrounds it. Tiny fragments breaking away silently, invisible to the eye. Each time you open a package, each time the plastic bends, heats, or ages, it sheds. Not enough to see. Not enough to question. But enough to enter. And once it does, it doesn't just pass through. It lingers. It builds. It becomes part of something it was never meant to be part of. Not the food, but you. This isn't a theory. It's already been found everywhere. In oceans, in soil, in the air you breathe. And now, inside the human body, scientists have detected microscopic plastic particles in blood, in lungs, even in the placenta. Not in extreme cases. Not in rare conditions. In ordinary people, living ordinary lives. The packaging meant to protect our food has quietly become part of us. And we're only beginning to understand what that means. It doesn't take damage for plastic to start changing. It only takes time, heat, pressure, movement. A container left in the sun, a hot meal sealed too soon. A wrapper bent, opened, squeezed, and used exactly the way it was designed to be used. And with every small stress, the surface begins to break down. Tiny fragments, chemical traces, invisible pieces moving from the packaging into the thing it was meant to protect. Not all at once, not enough to notice. Just slowly, repeatedly, until contamination starts to feel normal. They call it safe. Measured, tested, approved. Because the amount that transfers is considered too small to matter. Each material has its limit, each exposure has its threshold. Numbers calculated in controlled environments under perfect conditions. But real life isn't controlled. Heat changes things, time changes things, reuse changes things. And those tiny exposures don't happen once. They happen every day, across every meal, across years. Individually, insignificant. But together, never truly measured. We still don't fully understand what happens next. But early research is beginning to raise questions. About inflammation that doesn't go away. About cells responding to something that shouldn't be there. Tiny particles interacting with systems never designed to handle them. Some studies suggest they may carry chemicals. Others that they may disrupt processes we depend on every second. Nothing conclusive, not yet. But that's what makes it harder to ignore. Because by the time we understand the full impact, it may already be too late to undo it. This isn't one product or one company. It's an entire system built around convenience. Packaging designed to move faster, last longer, travel further. Billions of items produced every single day. Used once, then replaced. And almost all of it made from the same material. Plastic wrapped around nearly everything we eat. Not because it's the best solution, but because it's the easiest one. And the more we depend on it, the harder it becomes to escape it. So we look for alternatives. Labels that say biodegradable, compostable, eco-friendly, something that feels better. But most of these materials don't disappear on their own. They need specific conditions, industrial systems, controlled environments. Without them, they behave just like the plastic they were meant to replace, breaking down slowly into the same microscopic fragments. And even recycling doesn't remove the problem. It reshapes it, reuses it, extends its life. So the question isn't just what we choose, but whether the system itself was ever built to change. There isn't a single solution to this. No switch you can flip to make it disappear. But there are moments, small ones, where you still have control. Choosing less when you can. Avoiding heat where it matters. Replacing what's used every day. Not perfectly, not always. Because this system wasn't designed for you to escape it completely. But even within it, you can reduce what reaches you. Not eliminate. Just reduce. It was never listed on the label. Never something you agreed to. Just an invisible addition that came with everything else. Not enough to notice. Not enough to question. But always there. In what you eat, in what you carry, in what you trust. And maybe that's what makes it hardest to see. Because the most persistent problems aren't the ones we fear. They're the ones we accept without ever realizing it.